G'day, guys. Welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. We have some good news and some very, very complicated news in terms of the NFL and the Week 18 schedule and the football games moving forward. But first of all, guys, I want to give a shout out to Damar Hamlin. He's looking to improve, or he's improving over the last 24 hours while still critically ill. He has demonstrated that he appears to be neurologically intact. His lungs continue to heal, and he's making steady progress. We're grateful for the love and support and that they have received. And I also saw this on Twitter too, when Damar Hamlin asked who won via writing. The doctor said, you won the game of life. So shout out to Damar Hamlin. Thoughts and prayers. I hope you continue to get more healthier each and every single day. I know it's not over yet, and hopefully the NFL takes care of you and looks after you and things get better. That's the good news. While we have some really, really complicated news. Like, I'm talking like next level stuff. The Bills and Bengals game wasn't played last week, and the NFL still doesn't know if they're going to play that game. Will they tie the game? I don't know. Will they play the game next week or the week after? Will they play the game in place of the Pro Bowl? Things like that, I have no idea. But I want to bring up this idea that I did see on the internet this morning, was the idea around the 8th seed. So right now we have KC, Buffalo, Cincinnati, Jacksonville, New England, Baltimore, and Los Angeles for the AFC side. And of course, the NFC side on the right-hand side too. But there's the idea now, guys, that there might be a chance, and this comes from Pro Football Talk, NBC Sports, which I'll read a little bit of the article. But the idea is around the teams to include an 8th team to the standings. So 8 seeds on either side. So the article explains pretty much, because the Bills-Bengals game wasn't played, there is one possibility to add an 8th team to the playoff field in the AFC. This would eliminate the bye for the number 1 seed, and to ensure a competitive balance, there would need to be 8 teams in the NFC too. So it's a crazy idea, but this might solve the issue of not playing the game. However, what it doesn't solve is, guys, when you think about it, right? You think about it, the KC Chiefs, the Philadelphia Eagles, those teams don't want to add another team. They're already in line to go and secure the bye. So this is like a scheduling nightmare, an absolute nightmare. While the tragedy has happened and we're moving forward and he's getting better, that's awesome. But when you think about these things on a scheduling level, why would the NFC want to add another team to the mix to make it 8 teams? Philadelphia are already sitting on the 13th seed, and I believe that if they win one more game, they got it, right? I don't know if San Fran can get that, but still, this changes everything if they were to add an 8th team. Now, if the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Titans might still have a place to get to the 8th seed. If the Steelers lose and New England lose, and the Dolphins lose, then the Steelers could also get an 8th spot too. This changes so much. So this came out today via Mike Florio, I believe. He wrote the article, including an option where they could add another team. And then there's also discussions where, the NFL might have a chance to make the AFC Championship at a neutral site, right? Which is also very complicated. So in a big nutshell, guys, if this were to happen, I think this season, it would be like cutting the chicken's head off and running around crazy. That's what it would be like. But I'll tell you right now, if this does happen, if the NFL includes one more team to the playoffs and things open up where you got 1 to 8 and the other side's got 1 to 8, where there's 16 teams either side, 8 teams either side being a total of 16, that's half the league. I tell you what, the NFL won't go away from it. There's no way. Once they introduce it, it will probably stick, because the NFL is all about money. If they can include another game where KC Chiefs or number 1 seed versus the 8th seed, then that's going to play for money. Those we're going to have 4 games or 8 games over a weekend. That's going to happen, right? It's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to change it this year because of the circumstances to do with Hamlin, but if they did change it, there's a possibility that it might stick forever. But leave your comments below, guys, about this. Do you think, and I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. I'm just talking about it, right? Do you think the possibility of adding an eighth team to the standings is going to happen. Because where will they play that game? I don't know where they're going to play the Bills versus the Bengals. They may never play it, right? And it also, I know. Look, football is just a part of life, and life is much bigger than football. But as a business sense, what's going to happen with the Bills versus Patriots and the New York Jets versus Dolphins, Steelers versus Browns? Like, if there was no injury to Hamlin and that never happened in a perfect world, then things would move forward. But it's not a perfect world, and this did happen. But at the same time, it's about business now too. How do we move forward, and how do things get back on the moving train? So it's a hard one to talk about because the stuff happening with Hamlin, and they've raised like $7 million for his charity. The guy almost died. It's absolutely crazy. Thoughts and prayers to him and everyone involved. His family must be a traumatic experience. I wouldn't even know what to think if that happened in front of me. I've never seen anything like that in my life, right? Someone almost passing away in front of me. I've never seen that. But what I'm saying is, what's the NFL going to do? What will the NFL do right now? They've only got a few days to figure this out. They've got a few days to figure out, do they play the game? Do they make the game a tie? Do they push back the playoffs? Do they push back the Pro Bowl? They can't really change the Super Bowl because the logistics towards that is incredible. There's no way they can really change the location or push that somewhere else or change the date. Wherever the Super Bowl is right now in Arizona, it's going to stay there at that date. I think it's like the 15th or something like that of February. It's going to stay there. They have no real time or places to place the game that is Bills versus Bengals. And obviously, do they start at 0-0 or do they start at 7-3? There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions happening around the league. And I, for one, have no idea. So if you guys want to check up on updates, make sure you're on Twitter. Make sure you're on Google. And I'm sure we're going to hear about this in the next few days. But I wanted to bring up that topic because I do believe, though, if they were to add an 8th team, and the Steelers have a higher chance now, if they add 8th and 7th, it's going to be a funny year. And I guess some of the haters out there will be saying, well, we didn't deserve to be there because they add the 8th. I don't know. I have no idea. I personally think, though, that they probably should just tie the game between Bengals and Bills, and then play week 18 as normal, and then see what seeds fall out. Tie the game as normal, see what seeds fall out. If Chiefs win number 1, fair enough. If the Bengals get 2 and the Bills get 3, then fair enough, work it out. But do the Bills does the Bills team even want to play against the Patriots, right? Emotionally connected to this game and to Hamlin, the person, do they want to play that game? That's another question. Do they want to play for him? Are they psychologically affected about what happened on the field when he almost passed away on the field? There's a lot of questions that need to be answered and a lot of questions that we can't answer at this moment. But thoughts and prayers to Hamlin. But overall, guys, I don't think we've ever seen this in the NFL like this. We've seen it with Shazier. He went down, lost the ability to walk. And when he came out in that draft stage, it was awesome to see. He walked into the draft stage and he announced a pick, and it was like, yes, let's go, Shazier. You're walking again. And you go back and watch him do his chin-ups and box jumps. You're like, let's go. The NFL moved on. But this does seem like, as the fella, Hamlin, almost passed away on the field with CPR, it feels like the NFL has come to a standstill, right? And that's okay. But at the same time, the business has to move on, and I don't know what's going to happen. But apparently, guys, there could be a small chance, that there could be an 8th seed for the AFC and an 8th seed for the NFC.